Sorry, man. Well, Valentina, congratulations. Probably one of your most dominant performances to date. How do you feel after a fight like that?
I feel good, feel amazing. It's because, not because only because of performance, but last couple months it was a lot of work, a lot of hard trainings, like mental pressure, physical pressure, everything. And when you end the fight and with the result what you expected, it's the best feeling that you ever can feel.
Yeah, I know you go in expecting to win. I mean, where did you feel your biggest opportunities would be? I think you dominated pretty much all aspects, but did you think striking, grappling, where did you think you'd have the advantages?
It's first of all, from the beginning of the fight, I wanted to feel her power because I heard a lot what she was saying about the distant range, and I never fought someone like she, and like I wanted to feel, is it truth or maybe it's just words? And that's why it was kind of like, after I felt, and after the last elbow in the first round, when I cutted her, I knew that the fight is not gonna last all 5 rounds, and I just trying to find the best way to finish.
I know, like, after the last fight, you said, listen, there's no pressure to do things differently. I just have to win and keep my belt. But, I mean, is there a satisfaction you take out of having another highlight finish, not something that wasn't quite what fans wanted?
Of course, it's anytime I think you never can order how you will finish the fight, right? You can only prepare yourself to the biggest moment. And like I said before the fight, I prepared for all 5 rounds, the bigger distance, a lot of challenge that Caitlin gonna bring. And she tried to do everything. She tried to do it, but fighting with different opponents other than me, it's different because I don't know why she thought that she's gonna be better on the distance. I don't know why, because for example, my coach Pavel, he every time during our trainings, we work a lot on the stand-up, the distance, the feeling. He teach me how to be in the right moment, in the right place, and it was only matter. So during the fight, there is no thoughts. I never think about what I'm gonna do, how I have to do. I just let my body act to work, because I already teach it. I teach it for all these years, everything. It knows everything. And now it's time just to do the action, and looks like the body it's know how to finish or what to do better.
Yeah. And last thing for me, I know you said the great thing about being champion is you don't have to chase fights, they come to you, but what do you think makes sense? I mean, I don't know if there's a clear number 1 contender, maybe Modafferi, maybe Calderwood. What do you think would make sense for your next title defense?
We just watched the ranking of flyweight with Laura Sanko, and it was after Caitlin and Jessica I, it is Jojo Calderwood, it's Jennifer Maia, and Roxanne Modafferi. So these 3 girls, I think they are strong fighters, very good skills, and each one, they have different style of fighting, and I would love to fight anyone from them.
Even Maya, I mean, she's missed weight a couple times. Would that bother you?
I think if it's going to be a matter of the title fight, she's going to take it more seriously, probably.
Valentina, right here. I spoke with your manager, Roger, earlier today, and he said he thought tonight would be the best expression of your ability in the cage. Do you feel like that, this performance was that?
I just a small correction. I'm a self-manager since 1 year ago. We are good friends with Roger. He is helping like a friend a lot, and but already 1 year I'm a self-manager. And can you repeat the question, please?
He just said he thought tonight, you were feeling so good coming into this fight, it would be kind of the best expression of your skills, and obviously you were so dominant, it was really impressive. Do you feel like you showed, the best of yourself tonight?
Every single fight, I try to show the best of me. And of course, as I said, you cannot order the KO, TKO submission, but you just can to prepare as good as you can. For me, I don't like to say these kind of things about myself. Oh, it was my best performance, so I'm the greatest. So I don't like it. I just think that it's not right, it's incorrect, because if people say it, if fans say it, it's okay. But you as a fighter, you have to focus on your trainings and concentrate yourself, concentrate on works, not word.
We just talked about potential opponents, but do you know how soon you would like to fight again? It doesn't seem like you took much damage, and I know you like to be really, really active, so do you have any idea how quickly you'd like to compete again?
Doesn't matter. I don't know. Tomorrow, probably. I don't know. Yes, I would love to fight soon.
Valentina right here. How cool was it to have that belt on your shoulder and go, get congratulations from Halle Berry? I know that's a friend of yours now.
It was a very special moment for me. Halle, she's an amazing person, and I'm very happy that tonight, she was here in the event. She came before the fight to wish me good luck, and it was like a very special feeling, because for a couple of months we were training together. Then we did the movie that probably by the end of this year we could see, hopefully. And of course, it's every time, it's for me, it's very special moments. And this is what make you think, you cannot just go inside the octagon and just do regular fight. No, you have to give yourself the best of you.
How big a deal for you is to get the Valentina brand mainstream so people know you everywhere?
I don't know. I just do what I love to do. I love to do martial arts, because martial arts for me, it's not just my job. It's not. UFC, it's not just my job, it's my life. Martial arts, it's my philosophy, my lifestyle, everything. And I'm very happy to have this kind of life, not different one, exactly this one. And I just love what I'm doing, and doesn't matter what I do, I try to give all my heart and to bring everything from me.
Is that why you have that mentality? Because it seems like anybody can get it at 125, and that's like your mentality. You don't care who's next. It's like you line them up, you knock them down. Is that your mentality?
It's true. This is my mentality, and it's like if opportunity comes to you, you have to be ready to take it. If you are thinking, okay, probably it's gonna come another time. I'm not speaking right now about the fights. I'm saying it like in general, right? Or what people are thinking. Okay, probably I don't take it this time, and tomorrow I will do it. It's not. You have to be ready to take it right now. And this is what I every time think, that doesn't matter what position you are right now, champion or whatever, you have to work hard. You have to work more than other one, and especially when you have a belt. It's not time to relax. People, other ones, they are thinking, okay, I will get the belt and I can relax. No, it's time to work harder than before.
And do you need that trilogy with Amanda to try to complete your career? Do you want that fight before your career is up, or if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen?
I started to fight in UFC in bantamweight. It's not my natural weight class. For example, my walk weight is 135 bantamweight. For 125, I'm not cutting at all, so it's my perfect natural weight class. And I'm so happy that UFC have this weight class where I can feel naturally. I can do everything what I'm doing right now. That's why I just want to continue defend my belt, and but I'm not discarding any opportunities in the future. As I'm said before the fight, this fight with Amanda, it's something that beyond what she wants, I want. It's not there anymore. It's just gonna happen sometime. I don't know when. I'm not saying, okay, tomorrow. No, probably not. But it's gonna happen sometime. And when it's happened, I will be ready.
All right, before the fight, Caitlin talked about how she was going to try to use her reach and her height as an advantage. What did you think that she did really well in the fight that maybe surprised you?
Actually, I studied Caitlin good. I studied her movements, what she's doing, her like feigns, how she trying to showing, for example, like looking to other side and throw some different things. So I knew all of this. I knew all her tricks. And I knew that she is gonna use it. That's why I prepared good for the fight, and nothing was something that surprised me a lot.
Okay, thank you. You look at your last 3 fights. You've been a big heavy favorite, and you've been dominant in each of these fights at flyweight. You look at Jojo. You mentioned that she's number 3. She's got 1 win in a row. Her last, before that, she lost to Caitlin. Lauren Murphy called out Roxanne Modafferi. Do you feel like any of those top 3 that you mentioned, do they need to do anything else before they get a fight with you? And I know you don't make fights, but do you think that they need to get another win before challenging you for the belt?
If they gonna fight for one more fight, when I will be fighting. No, I want to fight. We done?
Valentina, can you stand?
Yes.
The gate was 3.55 million, sold out. We broke the record for largest gate ever at the Toyota Center. The attendance was 17,401. Giles and Krause won fight of the night, and Batista and Chaos won 50,000. Everybody won 50,000. Who's got the first question?
Dana, it ended up being a fantastic event, but of course, the discussion afterwards is all about the main event and the scoring.
Right.
And was it a good score? Was it a bad score? Can you give us your thoughts on how you scored it and just what you think about the result overall?
The scoring was all over the map. So Joe Silva, the former matchmaker here, had it a draw. Kevin Ioli hit me up. He had Jones 3-2. Going into the last round, I had Dominick Reyes 3-1 going into the last round. My kids are terrorizing me that the fix is in and how can this happen, Dad? Reyes won that fight. And the list goes on and on of people that are reaching out to me. So it's not like there's this landslide of people saying, there was a robbery or whatever. People have it all over the place. But the reality is, who gives a shit? We're not judges. None of us are judges. The judges called the fight, and that's that. And as far as the judging and the reffing tonight, do I think it was perfect? I do not. I think that we need to do some work down here. I think that Mark Ratner and Hunter Campbell, have to work with these guys, and they don't do a lot of big fights down here, and we all know that these kids work so hard and sacrifice so much. Let's take Dominick Reyes and Jones out of the equation. If your first prelim of the night, you've worked so hard to get there. You guys have heard me for 20 years talk about reffing and judging, and you know, it's never going to be perfect, but it has to be close, man. I mean, these kids work hard to get here, and you know what I mean.
You know, and I want to kind of ask you on that, because I know you say, hey, listen, you're too old to be bashing on these referees anymore, but everybody did seem to feel like the judging and the refereeing all night was a concern. So what can you do? I mean, I know these guys regulate you, not the other way around. So, I mean, what can you do to try to maybe educate or improve?
Work with them. We can work with these guys, and, you know, first of all, the powers that be in the commission have to realize that there were mistakes made, and these things are going to happen. Nothing's perfect. No commission is perfect. No state is perfect, and it's something we have to work on. But in the Reyes fight, I mean, like I said, it was so all over the map. And then there's guys I talked to a few guys tonight that were like, you know, you can't run the last 2 rounds and take the title away from the champion. So you have people that think a lot of different ways on how they score a fight. But we're not judges.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me ask you specifically about Dominick coming in. You said this is a dangerous guy, that people don't even realize how dangerous he is. Probably showed that tonight. Talk about his career moving forward. I mean, is a rematch even an option for him? Do you feel like this was the type of performance where, you know, people will remember him now, and now this is a guy you can use? What do you think about Dom moving forward?
Yeah, so coming into this fight, my big thing was the only problem with this fight is the general public doesn't realize how dangerous this guy really is and what a huge threat he is to John Jones. You know, he was a 4.5 to 1 dog, which is crazy. There's no way that guy's a 4.5 to 1. You saw it tonight. I never talk about fights right after. First of all, you guys were in here. I was just backstage doing some interviews. John Jones walked by with his legs all wrapped in ice, and they carried Dominick Reyes by me. Like, guys were carrying him. So when you see that shit backstage, you know you just saw an incredible fight. And do I think that he deserves a rematch? Sure he does. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And last thing for me, Danny, let me ask you about John moving forward as well. I mean, being in a...
Well, here's the other thing. You say what you want about John Jones. John Jones wins fights.
Yeah.
We can bitch about the judge, but it's not like there's this landslide, you know, where everybody... Who thinks John Jones won the fight? Anybody in here? No, there's hands in here who think Jones won the fight. I've been hearing this all night. John Jones won the fight. It was a draw. Reyes won the fight. It's all over the map. So it all depends on the way that you judge a fight, and it doesn't fucking matter. We're not judges. So it was a badass fight. One thing I do know, both of these guys are tough as nails, man. The shots that both these guys took tonight to the body, legs, head, it was a phenomenal fight between two phenomenal athletes. Say what you want about John Jones. John Jones wins fights.
No question. Does it give you any pause, though? You know, he was talking about maybe moving up to heavyweight. I mean, obviously that's been talked about for a long time, but tonight's performance, what does it think, you know, how does that factor into what he does moving forward? Does it take heavyweight off the table? Does it take certain things off? What do you think?
Let's not forget what I said going into this fight. Dominick Reyes was not a 4.5 to 1 dog. Dominick Reyes, tonight was the 4th time that he's made it out of the first round. He knocks people out in the first round. 9 people he knocked out in the 4th round. You know, so as you look at little things that both guys did in this fight, they both fought an unbelievable fight. They both made mistakes in this fight. And I think when they both go home and they start watching tape and they'll watch this fight over and over and over again, they're going to get back in the gym and they're going to work on things. If and when these two fight again, it'll be even better than tonight. So that's the positive out of what we saw here this evening. No matter what side of the fence you sit on who won.
Hey, Dan, over here to your left. So John obviously has been dominant for so long as a champion, and it seems like either you know, guys are catching up to him, maybe some of the younger guys are coming up, or maybe he's, you know, getting a little bit older. Obviously, you know, age is one thing that no one can, you know, fend off. How do you attribute, you know, this performance against Reyes? Was it more Reyes being very, very good, or maybe Jones maybe not being the same guy?
So what happens is when you take a guy like John Jones, right? And he's the GOAT. All the things he's accomplished, all the killers that he's beat. You set this expectation for John Jones, that John Jones should come out and destroy him and do this and that. John Jones isn't 25 years old anymore, okay? And John Jones is taking on these young killers. And, he finds a way to win these fights. I just think that the bar is set so high and you have such high expectations. Coming into this fight, in no way, shape, or form did I think that John Jones was going to walk through Dominick Reyes. And if you thought that, you don't know enough about fighting. Because there's no way. Dominick Reyes is the real deal. I knew it before, and I definitely know it now.
Is it in a sense a credit to Jones then in that case? That he was able to fend off a young contender. Also turn it on in those late rounds. He was. And
let's be honest, John Jones has not been good to himself outside of the octagon. Okay, normally when you see a guy that's lived the life that John Jones has, they don't come back and do what John Jones is doing. This guy is a freak of nature in every way that you can be a freak of nature. I'm telling you, I was sitting there tonight and I was listening to some of these body shots he got hit with and the kicks and the punches. Dominick Reyes would have knocked 100% of the people he fought out with some of the stuff he hit John Jones with tonight. And John Jones, not only did he walk through it, the one time that he got knocked down, he slipped. I thought that was a slip. I'd have to see it again, but I believed it was a slip at the time that it happened. And Reyes was hitting him with shots tonight, and John Jones was not walking backwards. He was walking forward, walking Reyes down. He's a bad boy, man.
Just want to ask quick about Valentina. She had that fight against Liz Carmouche, and people were saying it lead a little bit of a lackluster fight, kind of a boring fight. Came out tonight, and she dominated, and she finished pretty violently on the ground. Were you impressed with that performance?
Absolutely. She's so awesome. She's such a professional and such a good human being on top of it. But at the end of the day, man, she's a gangster. That woman is an absolute gangster. When you got a gun tattooed on your hip, you are somebody not to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, she's so impressive, and she looks so good tonight, and I look forward to seeing her next fight.
One more thing from me. Why was it so important for you guys to honor Kobe Bryant tonight?
What's the question?
Why was it so important for you guys to honor Kobe Bryant?
Well, this was our first event since it happened, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but Kobe Bryant was an investor in this company here, which is a sponsor of the UFC, and he was also an investor in the UFC. What's crazy is, you guys heard me talk about what an amazing year 2019 was for the company. Massive year for the company, 2019. So Kobe Bryant actually got a distribution the Wednesday before this happened. And he was so pumped and so excited. And basically he said what everybody says when they invest in something and it does really well. He's like, damn, I wish I invested more. But he was a friend of the company. He was a friend of the sport. And he was a good guy in every way that you can be a good guy. And, so I don't know. I hope I answered your question. Huh? Yeah, yeah. He was pumped, man. He's bummed out that he didn't invest more money into the UFC, but, he did all right. He did pretty good. So, not only was this guy a great basketball player, he won an Oscar, he was an investor too, and he made some pretty good investments for an athlete. You know what I mean? They don't always make the best decisions with their money, but Kobe Bryant did.
So you spoke to him only a few days before the accident. Yeah. Did that trip you out a lot when you heard the news of what happened?
I literally couldn't believe it for an hour. And then once it really started pouring in, it was crazy. Yeah.
Thanks, Dana.
I had somebody who was a huge fan of his that, her husband was like the biggest Kobe Bryant fan, and Kobe was supposed to come in on Tuesday and sign a jersey for him. Yeah, on Tuesday. So.
Hey, Dana. Just a quick one back to the judges. I know some people said that Jones, you can see an argument for 3-2 Jones, but would you agree that 4-1 to Jones is not an acceptable scorecard?
Yeah. Insane.
Also, Derek Lewis tonight, he looked good. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of time he spent underneath Latifi, but he showed some high kicks, he showed flying knees. I just wanted to get your take on his performance.
Who's that?
Derek Lewis?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, I knew when he walked out, the place was going to go crazy. This town loves him, and he came out to perform for his crowd tonight, man. He sure did. Yeah. Who in here ever thought they'd see Derek Lewis throw a flying knee? Not me. It's pretty cool.
And obviously your next event is Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. I just wanted to get a quick take. What was going through your mind when Yoel stood up yesterday at the press conference and sort of started marching over to Izzy?
So, many of you know this, but I have problems hearing. I don't hear well. I don't hear out of this ear at all, and I have a real loud ringing, so I have trouble hearing as it is. Then when you have an accent, like you, sir, I have trouble understanding the words.
I can tell.
Yeah, I have trouble understanding the words, so I have a lot of trouble hearing. So I couldn't tell if he was pissed off or if they were just talking or whatever. So I get nervous thinking, when they got up to shake each other's hands, then he's doing backflips, and yeah, I was completely, just trying to make sure these two didn't get in a fight.
Since he did that backflip and splits and all that, the reaction to it online has been like, oh my God. Now you've seen the reaction to that press conference. Any talk of it, or maybe Romero shouldn't have got the shot? Is that gone now? Are you sure this is the perfect fight to make right now?
Listen, from day one, from when Adesanya wanted it, I have so much respect for the guy. Nobody wants to fight this guy, and you ask any of the fighters, interview the guys who have fought him. They say when they hit him, it hurts them. And this sounds weird, but if you touch this guy's like a piece of iron. It's the craziest thing ever. And Adesanya wants to fight him. How do you not respect it? I love it. And out of all the fights that we have lined up this year, and fights that can be made off fights that are lined up this year, the fight that I am the most excited about this year is Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I'm so excited for this fight, man, and that's the co-main event. So it's going to be a very fun card.
Yeah, speaking of the card, and last one from me, tonight the full card was listed, and there's no Jared Cannonier on there, and I know the Till fight is sort of maybe being worked on. Is Jared possibly still involved in that card, or is he off that card now?
I have no idea. Off the top of my head right here, right now, I don't know the answer to that question.
Would you use him as a backup in case Romero has weight issues like he has in the past?
Who, Till?
No, Cannonier.
Oh, Cannonier?
Or Till.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Cheers, Dana.
Thank you.
Dana right here. What was the conversation? It looked like you were in almost like a heated conversation with Dominic right after the decision was read, and you guys were going back and forth. Can you just tell us kind of that conversation, what you said to him and what he said?
I was just telling him, kid, you got nothing to be bummed out about. That was one hell of a fight, and you just put yourself in a really good position. Obviously it's so hard to talk to a kid that loses a fight like that. But that was an unbelievable performance. That's basically what we were talking about. His corner was asking me, come on, how'd you have that scored and whatever. And I'm like, guys, who gives a shit how I had it scored? It doesn't matter. I'm not a judge. And every time you go out there, and I said this tonight when Laura Sanko came back into my room and interviewed me, but, when these guys go out, Dominick Reyes is fighting John Jones, and John Jones is fighting Dominick Reyes, and they're both fighting the judges too. I don't know how many more times I can say it. It's just like if you think these guys are incapable of judging a fight, then do everything in your power to take it out of their hands.
Talk a little bit about James Krause. Did you have a chance to talk to him after the fight yet? And
I did.
Just your thoughts and how that conversation went.
So he was super upset. He felt like he could have won that fight. And I said, kid, it doesn't matter. You're such a stud. I have so much respect for the fact that you came here to corner and you took this fight a weight class up, didn't train, all those. I said, but let's never do this again. I'm gonna write him a nice check, and and he won fight of the night. So financially, it worked out for him. But did you guys see him tonight? I mean, he's lumped up, and he was in a dogfight. And I was saying, the end of the second round, when he was getting up off the canvas at the end of the second round, I said, I bet he wishes he was cornering right now. But I got nothing but respect for him, man. Thank you.
Dana right here. With Valentina being so dominant, is there any thought about having Amanda and her go for 30 times so we get that trilogy?
Listen, our 135-pound champion, GOAT, women GOAT, Valentina Shevchenko at 125, right behind her, and our 115-pound champion, Weili Zhang, is nasty and badass and about to fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I think there's a lot of things you could do with the three of them, but I like the idea of them staying in their division right now and doing their thing. We'll see what happens in the future.
Are you tempted to put John in a super fight, either wherever happens with Izzy and Yoel or with Stipe or whoever, since he's basically cleared out the division?
Have they been back here yet?
No.
When you see him walk in here, and when you see Reyes walk in here, if they do, they might even have been transported. You don't even talk to them about fighting or think about fighting. What's next? You let these guys go home, be with their families, heal up, and we'll talk about that later.
Hey, you've been watching the sport way longer than me. Did Dominick Reyes look like a future champion to you? Today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dominick Reyes tonight looked like the future of the division. He looked damn good. And again, John Jones has these expectations on him because of who he is and what he's accomplished. John Jones went in against a very, very, very tough guy tonight. And John found a way to win. We good? Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Houston, man. What a cool city and cool people, and I love the culture and the attitude here and everything. It's awesome, man. Thank you very much, Houston. And I want to thank Tillman Fertitta and his whole crew for everything they did for us while we were here. Thanks.
All right, who's first?
Well, Dominick, I know it's still fresh right now, and I imagine it's going to take some time to really soak it in and process it. But after what has been, I'm sure, an amazing week and then an incredible fight, what are the emotions going through your head right now?
Disappointment, first of all. I am proud of myself, though. You know, I went out there and fought with all my heart. You know, a goal for me for this fight was to make it an ESPN Instant Classic, and I feel like I accomplished that today. Man, I do feel disrespected, you know. One of the judges had it 49-46. Like, who are you? I might want to have a word with you. But other than that, man, I know I won that fight. I know I won that fight. I was in that fight. I don't have to watch the replay. I was there. I made John Jones look like just a man. I brought the fight to him, and man, this fucking man.
Talk about as the fight was playing out. I mean, you did exactly what you said you were going to do, right? I mean, you laid the game plan out and you executed it from the opening bell. So I mean, as the fight is playing out, the rounds are playing out. I mean, are you starting to say to yourself like, oh my God, this is a reality? Like, I can't believe this is happening.
Round one went exactly how I thought it was going to go, and it was a little bit trippy. I was like, whoa, like, this is going exactly how I thought it was. Like, heck yeah, like, it's one of those things, you know, I don't have, like, all kinds of big coaches and all this. I don't train at a big gym, you know. I kind of just work in the dark. I kind of work just in the basement, in a sense. You know, and this is for me, this is a huge validation, you know. It's my very first time going 5 rounds in my entire career against John Jones, who is arguably the greatest of all time. And I put it on him. You know, I took it to him. Man, I feel like I'm the people's champ.
I think you even said that you think you gave him the last 2 rounds, but you think you gave yourself the first 3. Is that the way you scored it?
Yeah, 3-2 or 4-1. It could have been either of those. I truly believe that. I'm not even just saying that. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at how the fight played out. Those takedowns. How can you even score those as a takedown? He burned more energy trying to take me down. I just popped right back up like it was nothing, and then I elbowed him off the break. So it's like, you're gonna do me like that? But it is what it is, man. All I know is I am the truth, and people are gonna. People saw that tonight. You know, many people from the top down in this organization have told me I won that fight. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud, and I'm proud to represent, you know, my friends, my family, my culture, you know, everybody who's believed in me. You know, I shook up the world even though I didn't win in the judges' eyes.
Yeah. Last thing for me, Dom. I mean, you definitely accomplished it. It was an instant classic. There's no question about that. So let me ask you, will you – I'm not sure if that was the one you brought in or not, but it's probably –
I don't either.
Okay. Look, you're going to have to take some time and heal up. I know that. That's for sure. But will you push for a rematch? I mean, you know, this was, like you said, you pushed John to the limit. I think you were a name that some people didn't know. Will you push in your next fight to have this one again?
Yeah, I definitely would like a rematch. I mean, I won. But, and it was very controversial. It wasn't like he blew me out of the water and I was like cowering in the corner and, you know, sitting on my butt like, don't hurt me. Like, no, I was bringing it to him, you know. But I'm going to go home, rest up, you know, maybe go on vacation, sit on a beach somewhere and figure out what's next, you know, sit down and talk with Dana and figure out my future. No matter what, I showed who I am, and I think very many people can respect that.
Hey, Dom, to your left over here. Dana just left. Did you see him on the way out? Did you talk to him at all?
Yeah, we talked in the locker room.
Want to tell us about what?
He said, "You're the man, kid." He said, "I'm proud of you, and if it's any consolation, you're the future of the UFC, light heavyweight division."
And how did that make you feel?
Extremely proud. I mean, I've been in the UFC for 2.5 years. That was only my 13th fight, my first time ever going 5 rounds, you know. And for Dana to say that to me, you know, it means a tremendous amount.
You've seen the scorecards, right? You knew there was a 49-46.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your thoughts on, I mean, do you think it's an issue with the Texas Commission? Do you think where do you think the issue lies?
I don't know, man. But the disrespect. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it lies. I mean, I don't know who's judging, because even if they were boxing judges, I had some very impressive boxing out there. You know, I was working the body, I was working the head, I was slipping, I was having fun, man. But whatever.
A couple times I saw you were kind of batting down his lead hand. Was that because he had the fingers extended?
Well, a couple of times I punched his fingers. I wasn't batting it down, I was punching the fingers like, bop. Yeah, don't stick your fingers out, man. Like, I wasn't doing that. You don't need to try to stop me, put a spike in my face, but it's neither here nor there. I mean, I got it done. I was still landing, even with that or without that or whatever. I was having fun.
Last thing for me, the fourth and fifth rounds, those are the ones that I guess the judges gave him. Was it a matter for you of cardio? Like, what do you think it was that gave him those last 2 rounds?
I mean, I'd never been in the fourth and fifth before. It was a big learning experience for me. I kind of knew I was up 3. I felt like I put it on him in the fourth as well. And the fifth, I thought he was going to do something wild. You know, I thought he was going to be spinning the whole time and trying to fly knee and all that. So I was just sticking and moving. But it is what it is.
Dominick, right here. What did you do on your cardio that it's like you kind of had that look all week that you knew something that we didn't know, and you kind of got winded in the third, but then you got that second win. So what did you do differently that you haven't shown? Of course, you haven't win 5 rounds, but I'm pretty sure you trained a lot differently to get prove us wrong.
Yeah, to be 100% honest with you, man, I hit the streets. I hit the streets hard. I usually do like a MMA style conditioning where it's like a program where you have all these set workouts, treadmill sprints, et cetera. But this time I was like, nah, I'm gonna hit these streets. And that's what happened. I mean, that combined with pushing myself as hard as I possibly could every single day. I mean, I was Shark Tanking myself for the sake of Shark Tanking. Like, there wasn't a reason to get a new fresh body every time I escaped. I mean, we saw my takedown defense tonight. It was fantastic. John Jones doesn't get stuff like that, you know? And that's a testament to the hard work I put in. You know, I was putting myself in situations where I'd escape, and then a new guy would come in for like 50 minutes straight. Like, and I was doing that with striking exchanges as well. I mean, I've never worked that hard in my entire life, and I thought I could get it done. And I felt like I won that fight, but the judges here in Texas, they didn't agree.
We talked about earlier this week about taking chances and not being a sparring partner. After going 25 minutes and taking chances, do you think you can beat John without them taking those crazy chances now that you've been in the octagon with him?
That's me, man. That's how I fight. I'm a dog, man. You got to get in there and be a dog. You can't go in there and be tentative and nervous. I'm there to scrap, man. I love to fight, man. Look at my strike count. Look at how much I throw. I'm a scrapper, man. I'm a dog, and you got it. That's just who I am. That's how I fight.
And before John hangs it up or moves up divisions, do you think he has to see you one more time?
I'd like to fight him again. He at the very end of everything, you know, he was like, "Dude, you're the real deal." Like, I did not expect that from you. I'm like, I know, like, saw it in your face. But he said when we rematch, it's gonna be epic. So.
How does that feel to have the champion's attention like that? It wasn't like he didn't take you serious, but I guess it's a lot different after you share blood for 25 minutes.
Well, he knows I don't only just have a left now, so.
And final question for me. What does this do for the Dominick Reyes brand? It's like I said, we got the secret now. You had the secret in your pocket all week. You had the swag on a 15, and you showed that you're the real deal. So what do you got to do to let everybody know that you're going to be around for the next 4 to 5 years to be that guy to take over this division?
I just got to keep working, man. I mean, you don't get to this level and then stop. You know, I want to be great. I want to be one of the greatest. So you got to keep working. I got to keep working. Yeah, I'm going to take a little time, you know, heal up, enjoy my life a little bit, but I'm coming right back to it. I think this this solidified my spot in the UFC for a very long time.
Dom, right here. Thanks for coming to talk to us, by the way. You mentioned you need some time to heal up. Obviously, you were limping out of the octagon. You limped in here. I think I saw something that maybe on the ESPN post show that mentioned something about a potentially torn ACL. Can you give us any insight on what's actually going on with you?
I'm good, man. We kicked the crap out of each other. My legs don't feel nice, but I don't think anything's torn. I mean, I wouldn't have walked. I'd be on a wheelchair or crutches right now. Yeah, I'm ginger, but have you ever been leg kicked that many times? There it is.
What would you do differently in a rematch? What do you think it would look like? Because obviously you feel like you did great in there. You feel you won the fight. So what adjustments would you make to, I guess, make it even more definitive?
Hey, come on, man. I can't give away the formula. What are you talking about?
Give us a hint.
Win in the judge's eyes.
Does that take away from, that extra factor in the back of your head that you need another thing you have to consider?
No. I'm going to fight my fight, every fight, no matter what. I'm going to fight for me. I'm going to fight for my family and friends and my supporters and all the fans in the UFC. Fans want to see fights. They want to see great fights, and I intend on giving it to them.
Hi, my name is Takashi from UFC en español, así que te voy a hacer una pregunta, ¿ok? Vimos tu excelente desempeño, realmente creo que coincidimos la gran mayoría en que no fue justo el resultado. ¿Cuál sería tu mensaje para la audiencia de Latinoamérica y crees tú que estás en tu mejor nivel?
I'm going to need you to translate that a little bit.
But your Spanish is good.
It's not great.
You try, please.
Not
Are
right.
you on the best level?
That's a lot of thinking right now.
Okay, you try in Spanish, please. No?
Not right now. Next question.
Okay. Thank you.
We're good? You guys good? All right, thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight.
underscore TX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not underscore TX.
They're underscore Solis TX.
Yeah.
How do we know that that's his face?
I know. Maybe well, maybe different things from the
Yeah, it's like visualizing. And it's all very intriguing that he's now eating like crazy tonight.
Once I saw that picture, I was like,
I'm seeing worse now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I know. They're just incredibly sad.
I don't know, like, what did they get out of that?
However, I mean, how do you get a picture of people with Derek Lewis at dinner?